Hello race fans and welcome to ETV's live coverage at Dover International Raceway with the Real Sim Racing Icebreaker Winter Series. Again, tonight the Bob Earl VRC 160 at Dover International Speedway. In the booth with me tonight, Dakota Ehrman, and down on pit road, Dalton England. Dakota, wow, welcome to Dover, man.
Excited to be here. Dover is a very interesting track, very hard to get a handle on, especially in these cars. And I do know that Dover is a self-cleaning racetrack, so most wrecks are usually going to slide down the track, so that's going to make it hopefully a little bit cleaner, not as many cars get caught up in wrecks. It can also be a big pileup, though. I know we've seen it in the backstretch before. It's just a bunch of cars just keep coming into the pileup as they're all wrecking on the inside or something. It's going to be an interesting race, to say the least.
And speaking of wrecks, last week at Atlanta Motor Speedway, wow, what a race. Bobby Wetzel, coming from nowhere, the man to beat, finishing first, and Chad Cole with a solid second-place finish. John Abbott finishing third last week, good top five for him, and Doug Roth finished fourth. Doug Roth's also fourth in points. He's going to be subbed out for Greg Netherwood. So Greg Netherwood subbing in for Doug Roth tonight. He will be racing for points, and that's good for Roth, Dakota, because Roth's sitting fourth in points. And John Hanna Jr. also finishing top five last week in fifth place.
Yeah, I want to say about the top five there, I don't remember seeing the first half of the race. They kind of came out of nowhere in the end, so that was a really good surprise, I guess. It was due to pit strategy, I'm thinking. But yeah, it's good that Roth can make up points with somebody else in the car, being as he's not able to make it tonight. But looking on the sixth position, we have Terry Lane. This was a very strong run last week. Ronnie Potts in seventh. Rich Jett in eighth. Adam Roberts in ninth. I mean, he was led a lap even. He had a really good run last week. And in 10th, Joey Gattina.
Yeah, and look at that. Three Stroker Aces teammates, John Abbott, Doug Roth, and Rich Jett, all finishing in the top 10, which Roth and Abbott finishing in the top 5, third and fourth respectively. So where does things look at in points? Well, Chad Cole was second place last week. Dakota put him on top. Hasn't got his win yet, but here tonight at Dover, he may get that. He sits first in points.
Yeah, but the guy right behind him, only 7 points back. He was, I believe, about fourth in the Full Throttle TV Cup Series. He was about fourth or second, or he was up there a ways. It's John Abbott, who's only 7 points back.
And talking about your man that you've got picked tonight in a little fun league, Brian Macklin, man. I tell you what, this guy, if not for the bad luck at Atlanta last week, finishing a lap down, getting trapped behind the pace car, this guy would have won the race. Brian Macklin sitting third in points. He's already got one win, and I'm telling you what, at Dover, he's looking pretty good.
And Dover is his home track, just to let you know. Doug Roth, fourth in points, and he's not. Remember, he does have a sub tonight, and I believe it's Greg Netherwood. But Greg's not been doing too bad. Greg was, I don't know that Greg was actually running full-time, but I do know that he knows how to wheel a race car, so either way, it's going to be a very interesting race for him to see if he can even make up any points tonight.
Yeah, I don't think Netherwood's been involved with the season as far as racing so much this year. I'm looking at the top 27. His name's not listed, so he could be further down. But nonetheless, good news for Roth as Netherwood does sub in for him. And Angelo Cordino, man, how about this guy? He's fifth in points and not doing too bad. He's looking for his first win of the season, but so far won top 5 this year.
I think that's two guys that I think they're new to the series, just for the series. Or new to Real Sim Racing, as far as I know. 2 guys in the top 5. That's pretty cool. But Dwayne Vincent in 6th. I don't want to look where he finished last week, because I don't know that he did all too well. 12th position. I believe he was caught up in that pit stop mayhem, but able to make a good recovery. But yeah, Dwayne Vincent 6th position, only 15 out of the lead, tied, I believe, with Mike Montesi and the 5th place car.
Yeah, and you just mentioned Montesi, so he's 7th, and yes, all those guys tied for 5th place with 15 points behind the leader. Montesi finishing 14th last week. He also got caught up in a little bit of trouble late on in the race, but managed to get that good 14th finish. Could have been worse, but it could have been better for Mr. Montesi.
John Hanna Jr. in 8th position, only 16 out of lead after finishing 5th last week. Not a bad run for him, and I know he needs a lot of those, but he is not quite out of the hunt for the points leader here.
John Hanna Jr. in 8th in points, finished 5th last week at Atlanta. Looking for a strong finish tonight. That'll move him up a little bit. He's also 16th. I think I meant Terry. I think I meant Terry Lane.
Yeah, Terry Lane actually finished 6th last week there, and he's 16 out in 9th position, not too far out, like you said there.
Yeah, I meant Terry Lane. I was looking at John Hanna Jr. on the racetrack, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. But yeah, Terry Lane, sorry about that, bud. Yeah, you're 9th, but you're actually tied with John Hanna Jr. in 8th. And then, of course, Joey Catena wrapping out the top 10 here. He's 17 points behind. He's all by himself right there with 17 points. And I tell you what, Dakota, Dover International Raceway is it might could change some things up, as you mentioned. It's a tough track.
Yeah, these corners are insane to get around. There's a lot of bumps on the bottom. There's a lot of bumps on the top. There's a lot of bumps everywhere. Bumps, bumps, bumps is what these drivers here see. It's ridiculous getting around this place. They're really loose. I've been in this car, been in the car here several times. So I can tell you it is not the easiest thing to drive. A lot of troubles here.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, when we get back with Dover International Speedway, we will have 160 laps after the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back, race fans, where we're just ready to get started. But before we do, let's go down trackside for the command.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
So here we are. Qualifying is done. The engines have been fired. And Dakota on the pole, Mr. Ritter himself, Steve in that 16 machine. Outside him, the 46, Randy Wells.
Chris Cable, we've seen him, I believe, in a late model race the other week. I cannot remember where we were, but he was running strong, almost won the race. He's been strong, not able to put the races together, though, seems like. It's Chris Cable in the 05 starting 3rd, John Hickman Jr. starting 4th on the outside.
Mr. John Abbott going to run 5th today. Mike Montesi in the 6th position.
Cale Dresbeck in the 7th position on the inside, and John Wayne in the 22 on the outside of him.
The guy that I've chosen in our little fun league here, Chad Cole, going to roll off 9th in that 7 machine. Outside him, the number 2 machine, Ronnie Potts.
Starting 11th, the 67 of Brian Murphy, and then my pick on the outside in 12th position, at his home track, Brian Macklin.
Some that call him the Silver Bullet, some call him the Orange Pumpkin. Dwayne Vincent in that number 6 car, going to roll off 13th. Outside him to his right, 97, Nathan Little.
Angelo Cordino starting 15th, number 9, Rick Pouts in the 03 on the outside of him.
Chris Schallenberger rolling off 17th. Outside him, Adam Roberts.
How about David Lance starting 19th, Nathan Bowers on the outside of him in the 85 machine.
Joey Katina, 21st. Brendan Webb, 22nd.
J. Randall Watkins starting 23rd, and Eric Arnold starting 24th.
Rich Jett, part of the Soak race, is going to start 25th. Outside him, the 61, White Wolf.
Keith Brooks Jr. starting 27th. Bobby Wetzel, your last week's winner, starting 28th.
Matt Lacrosse and Jonathan Cadell making up 29th and 30th.
31st, you have C.J. Levere and Mike King in 32nd.
John Hanna Jr., 33rd. Jose Gonzalez in the 1134th.
Glenn Campbell, 35th, with Wyatt Wolf Jr. in the 36th position.
Terry Lane, 37th and 38th. Subbing for Doug Roth. Greg Netherwood having to start this race towards the end. Douglas White, 39th. Ed Williams Jr. in that ETV machine, 40th. And then Stephen Herring, if he's racing, he's 41st tonight. The pace car, Dakota, down pit road. The 16 machine of Steve Ritter are going to lead them to the green here at Dover International Speedway, where we're 160 laps away from the winner of the Bob Earl VRC 160.
Now Steve got a great jump there. Chris Cable even able to follow him through and get the second position right there. As Chris Cable actually sneaking up on Steve Ritter rather quickly here.
A real solid start for this good race here. As Chris Cable, you mentioned, he got off to a great start, Dakota. He's already on Steve Ritter's back door. 1 lap complete here at Dover. The Monster Mile, lucky enough.
It is a monster, that's for sure. As we have caution on the speedway actually somewhere. I'm going to freeze it and go around and look at who was the cause there.
Yeah, that was going to be 49 Angelina Corandino, man. I tell you what, running 15th position at the line. Looks like he's going to go into 1, but he's going to get a little help from the number 88 machine of Adam Roberts. Let's see if we can't bring this one up on the ETV E-Wine machine. Man, I tell you what, Dakota, it's always bad to go early, ain't it?
Yeah, especially where he was in points. I believe he was around in the 5th position in points, if I am correct there.
Yeah, he is tied with Dwayne Vincent, Mike Montesi for the 5th spot, 15 points down.
And a hard hit, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Angelina Corandino, there you see it in the middle of the screen there, the 49 car just going to hit the outside wall there in turn 3, and then collect another and another guy. And almost one more for the taking, but man, I tell you, Dover International Speedway doesn't get any narrower than that, does it, Dakota?
No, I mean, you can try to knock the walls in or out, but they stay the same, unfortunately.
Of course, Adam Roberts is one of those guys that did get into Angelina Corandino in the turn there. He's going to come down pit road and do a little bit of service to that car. But joining us also in the booth, Dalton England. Tell you what, man, this guy's been around with ETV for a long time. Dalton, what's these guys saying down there on pit road on tires? Sorry about that. Dalton having technical issues, Dakota. But you know, Dover International Speedway is not a track that's known for good tire wear. These guys probably going to be expecting. We'll probably expect them to come down pretty much every chance they get, other than just here on lap 2 or 3. Don't you think, Dakota?
Yeah, 4 tires almost every time. I'm telling you, 2 tires is going to be a pain unless you're on a really long run, and it's your only choice there. But the speed limit on this pit road is 35 miles per hour. It's a tricky pit road to get onto and a tricky pit road to not speed on. And that's one thing you got to watch today is speeding penalties and people going in the back due to that, because that will bite a lot of people here.
Brandon Webb going a lap down in that 66 machine. He's stuck on pit road. Nathan Bowers going a lap down in the 85 machine, stuck on pit road. Also the 97 of Nathan Little going to go down a lap. So, man, early on, some guys already in big trouble going a lap down here at Dover. Although the Lucky Dog is in effect here with the Real Sim Racing Icebreaker Winter Series, so that's a good thing. If you get a lap down or two, you can always expect to get back on that lead lap if there's a caution that goes your way.
Yeah, it's still unfortunately a lot of race cars get torn up on the first 2 or 3 laps, but I believe we are going to go green flag racing, not this next time, but possibly next time around here.
Yeah, Yeah, and how about this, Dakota? 40 drivers for Dover International Speedway tonight. 40 drivers. Last week, I believe there was 42 or 43 drivers making the field. So I tell you what, this is a great league. If you're watching this right now, or you know someone that's into iRacing, tell them to get hooked on to Real Sim Racing. You can check them out, realsimracing.com. They also run their league with a iRaceLeague.com service, which, iLeagueRace.com, which is a custom league and website builder and hosting. So those guys do a phenomenal job. And if you're out there wanting to create your own league, you can always do it at iLeagueRace.com.
Yeah, it's a really easy site to actually navigate. I've been on there a few times and tried to screw around with it. It's a little fun, or I like doing that kind of stuff. So I had a little bit of fun. It was pretty easy to get around, and I recommend that site over any other ones. I know there's a few others out there, but not quite at that caliber.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long Real Sim Racing has been using these guys, but just dating back on some of the information on the site itself, it looks for a long time. So it's good. If it's got to be good if Real Sim Racing uses it. In fact, one of the guys sponsoring that iLeague Race, or using that sponsor iLeagueRace.com machine, is John Abbott. He's in that 10 car, sitting 5th right now. And I tell you what, Abbott's got a good shot at a title here. I mean, I know we're early, and John probably killed me for doing this, but he's in the hunt. 3 races in right now.
Yeah, and the reason John probably killed you because John Abbott is John Wesley's pick tonight, by the way.
Good pick, my man. And there's Steve Ritter rolling them off green for the first time or second time here tonight after a caution. Steve Ritter leading them into one with Chris Cable and that U.S. Air Force Chevrolet hot in pursuit.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was quite expecting the start that he gave him there, but Chris Cable would get a pretty good run through 1 and 2, but not quite able to get to the bumper and stay with him there.
When 3 and 4, buddy, he's there. I tell you what, oh, Steve gets a little loose and Cable's going to get into him. It's going to set off a chain reaction, no caution. These guys doing a great job of checking up as we're going 3 wide, 4 wide at the line here, Dakota.
John Wesley, you're so lucky. John Abbott sneaking through there. He's going to take the second position as we have caution on the speedway.
Yeah, it looks like here in the 21 machine of Matt Lacrosse, almost going to come to a complete stop here. He had a little bit of help, though. He was running 22nd, and that 61 machine, oh, White Wolf just got into the Navy machine of Eric Arnold, and there was nothing they could do about that.
Oh, I'm wondering if the caution didn't actually not come out for the 21. What if it came out for the 43? What would be Doug Roth, actually Greg Netherwood tonight, as I'm watching him, and he kind of picks up and tags one of the cars and ends up getting turned around in the front stretch here, and gets nailed once in the front end just a little bit. 32nd position there.
Yeah, and Dakota, here we are again. You know, 9 laps. The second 9 laps into this thing, second caution. That one really almost taken out a lot of the good top drivers right here that's qualified in the front. As I go back and look on my screen, it started with Chris Cable. He got it looked like he got Ritter a little arrow loose. He really didn't touch him. It looked like he just got him a little loose, and then as he started to spin, Ritter started to spin. You saw the 05 Chris Cable had nowhere to go, and that's what set off the chain reaction, if you will.
I found that to be rather a shock there because it looked like Chris Cable had been the loose one, but it was Steve Ritter having all the problems there.
Moved John Abbott up to second, though. We talked about him restarting this caution here in 5th place. He got by, he checked up just like you're supposed to, and everybody else behind him started to check up. You could kind of tell that everybody was trying to let them gather themselves in, and I tell you what, it paid off for him.
I'll tell you what, I saw Greg Netherwood after that hard hit coming down pit road, subbing for Doug Roth. Let's start down to Dalton, England, and see what's going on with that car and how much damage they have yet to fix.
Yeah, guys, Greg Netherwood came down pit lane here. Got 4 tires and fixing some damage out of the front end there. Not much, but he got it fixed and looking good. Looked like they just started out here, so filling in for Doug Roth tonight and running 34th.
Yeah, you know, Doug Roth has got to think two things here, Dakota. You know, one, that he is thankful that he can have a driver sub in for him, because he is fourth in points, and two, you know, he's got to hope that Mr. Netherwood can bring him home in a solid, you know, top 15, top 20 place. I'm sure that they've talked about it, and what they, you know, what he should expect, and maybe Netherwood say, look, you know, top 20, top 15, top 25. I'm sure whatever happens, Roth is going to be satisfied.
Yeah, either way, 1 point is better than no points, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I don't think that this series has any drop weeks. This is only 10 races long, and this is our third race into it. So I don't think you can really afford a drop week here. So you're right. You know, Doug's thinking 1 point is good enough for me.
Now I want to take the time. I just kind of saw something on the standings here. The guy who started 28th position, last week's winner, Bobby Wetzel, all the way up to 12th position already with these first few cautions. So he's looking a lot better than what he was, that's for sure.
Yeah, Bobby Wetzel looking real good. You know, last week he kind of kidded us about he really didn't expect to win the race. But, you know, that pays off when you put your car in the right spot at the right time. And that's what Bobby did. And he stayed out. He raced his way up to the front. And he won it. You know, and that's what it's all about. Chad Cole couldn't get around him, finished second. So you got to wonder how Chad Cole's going to try to rebound here tonight. And just to tell you an idea how close it was a tenth or 0.8 of a second. So pretty good racing.
Yes, we get set to go as they line up double file here.
But it did end under caution, though. I will tell the fans that.
Yeah.
But Bobby Wetzel nonetheless won at Atlanta. Now he's sitting 12th, like you said, Dakota, and that's a really good spot to be sitting in.
Especially after where he started. I was kind of looking at, started 28th and up to 12th in just 12 laps. So half of it made under caution. That's a pretty good stat there.
Absolutely. So getting ready to go green here for the third time as the 05 machine now leads us to the green with Abbott on the outside of that 10iRaceLeague.com Chevrolet as the 05 of Chris Cable takes the green here at Dover International Speedway to complete 12 laps.
Now we gotta wonder, does Chris Cable have any damage from getting this deridder, and will he be able to hang on to this lead here?
Yeah, and looking at that front end of the machine there, Dakota, you may can see a crinkle in it, but right now, man, I tell you, it looks like he's perfectly okay as John Abbott controls second place. He did get by John Hickman Jr., no problem. They were battling a little bit, but Abbott running second, and Cable in the lead comfortably.
And look who's in fourth there.
And Chad Cole moving up through the field as well. Started ninth, he's up to third, or fourth. He's going to work that third position of John Hickman Jr., who's running that Eden Construction Chevrolet, as they try to chase down second place Abbott in turn one. Abbott not going to give it up just yet.
Yeah, one of the things about Dover, though, it's so hard to pass here. Yeah, I mean, if they don't give up the bottom line, you're going to have a big problem getting around. I mean, you can't just hold the momentum on the outside and get closer to the walls and do anything. There's a really strict line you got to run here so you don't run over the walls coming off the corners. And it's hard to get out of that groove and hold speed.
Yeah, you can tell this is a really fast racetrack. Nearly hitting 170 just before turn one there was Abbott. Turning a 23.586. He's doing about 150 out of turn two. Into turn three, nearly 170 as well, 167, 168. Then he's probably trail braking through there a little bit, coming off the corner, 151, and down the front stretch again at 170. So that's what it's like at Dover with John Abbott. That's a fast, it's a fast track, Dakota.
Yeah, I was watching their check hold to the inside. Sean Hickman Jr. not quite able to get there. He keeps getting to his bumper, getting like he's going to look to the inside, not quite able to put it on. I mean, it's like you said, this is a fast racetrack, and it's like I said, there's a really specific line you have to run. It's hard to make a pass here unless you shove that guy out of the groove, and he's got to check up a lot.
You know, you can tell that these cars don't have a lot of room coming out of turns. I saw John Eden a while ago hit the wall, or John Hickman Jr. right in front of Chad Cole there hit the wall. It just seems like there's hardly any space or any give and take coming out of the corner up trying to get that car close to the wall. It's like that wall just reaches out and grabs you.
It just reached out and grabbed Dwayne Vincent as he came out of turn 4. He just barely scraped it in the middle of the front stretch. But I was sitting there watching. Also, Brian Macklin had just went underneath. Dwayne Vincent was there for about 2 or 3 laps and was not able to complete the pass. There is no way to get off this corner up to speed without getting out of that line. Like you're saying, it's really, really hard to pass here. I think that's going to be a problem. You're going to see a lot of guys maybe start getting loose in their tempo a little bit, maybe using a bumper or something.
Yeah, see, like you mentioned, Brian Macklin up to 7th. He qualified 12th. He's trying to chase down that Tabasco Sauce Chevrolet of Dwayne Vincent there in turn 4. He's running 6th. But behind them, look at John Milway, man. I'll tell you what, he's got some damage to the back rear end of that car. But getting the the double deuce 22 car, keeping it out front. That's what I'm talking about. A little damage at Dover never slows you down, huh?
Yeah, and the last time we talked about Bobby Wetzel, we said he moved from 28th to 12th. He's up to 11th position. He's up 1 spot on Rick Bouts. Rick Bouts back down to 12th position after starting in his 16th position. So he's actually gained 4 spots from where he started, and that's after avoiding carnage. That was the first few laps. As I say that, the other way, Rick Bouts goes underneath Bobby Wetzel to get the pass here.
And David Lanza is starting to make his way up through the field, starting 19th. He's 13th right now. He's working the 19 of Wetzel as they go into turn 3 here. He's also got a little bit of damage to the left rear of that machine, but he's running the orange Goodwrench Quick Blue Plus Chevrolet here tonight. Team Man Child Racing, David Lanza.
And he is a teammate to Chad Cole, and I believe that's Team Man Child Incorporated Motorsports, something like that. It's a big long name. Rather interesting name too, but David Lanza, I'm sure he has a little bit of damage. I mean, there was a bunch of wrecks right in front of him mid-pack. A lot of cars just stacking up and hitting each other. Like I said, this is a very intense racetrack to do anything at anywhere.
And directly behind them in the 14th place, that's Mike Keene in the 04, an unsponsored race car looking for one. CJ LaVere all over his back door in that 4 machine. CJ LaVere's always fast. He's driving the Nationwide Insurance Chevrolet here tonight at Dover. And he's sitting in that 4 car, but this is another guy who's moved quite up through the field. Started 31st. He was the first one not to take a, or second one not to take a time here. But Dakota, wow, from 31st to 15th in 25 laps, CJ LaVere moving through the field.
How about Eric Arnold starting 24th? He did take a time, but he is currently running in the 16th position. The Navy Nuke there. Looking like he's moving quite a ways up the track, maybe getting tight as the run progresses here.
And directly behind him, John Hanna Jr. Hey, that's a good paint scheme, that GoDaddy.com Chevrolet on John Hanna Jr.'s car. Another one who's miraculously worked his way through the field from 33rd up to 17th. So good for him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I've actually seen that paint scheme like a real NASCAR racer. That's a kind of a new paint scheme, you might say. I believe I see Autism Speaks on the front end of that car, just right above the Chevy emblems. So supporting a good cause as well. And Jonathan, after starting in the 30th position, he did not take a time. He is running 18th position right now.
But he's under pressure by that 20 Machida Mike Montesi, who we talked about. Who started 6th tonight. He got involved in that wreck. He's sitting 19th. He's trying to get to Cadell. He's trying to pass him, but like you mentioned, it's a tough racetrack to pass on. And Mike Montesi, though, in that silver and purple lightning-looking Chevrolet, trying to run him down.
I do remember where Mike Montesi is up in points. I believe it's up around the top 5. So he's really in a battle for points here. So the guy that he was battling, I believe it's Angelo Corradino is actually out of the race, has left the track.
Yeah, he was the one that was tied up in that first wreck there. Corradino was, so bad break for him. But the 44 machine, now he's on the back door of Mike Montesi. So a little 3-car battle here coming out of turn 4 down the front stretch. 30 laps complete. Glenn Campbell sitting 20th, and I tell you what. Let's take a look back up front to the 05 machine before we go to break here. Chris Cable, Dakota, leading the charge here at Dover International Speedway. John Abbott about 10 car lengths behind a second, but he's starting to close in. When we return, can John Abbott catch Cable and then get around him? We'll find out when we return.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Welcome back to ETV's live coverage of the Real Sim Racing Icebreaker Winter Series, and Chad Cole just took the lead over from Cable a moment ago, and now Mr. Cole and that Valvoline Chevrolet leading the way, Dakota.
Tell you what, even if he is not my pick, he is always a favorite to win these races. And again, the Chad Cole Fan Club for Life on Facebook, we run that little deal we made up. But Chad Cole is always strong. He was showing it in the Full Throttle series that we broadcasted, where I think he was running about second points. He was contending for the lead for a while. Basically quit running the last few races. But either way, I mean, Chad Cole was you had to mess with him, be there in the end, for sure.
Chad's starting to pull away a little bit, up to about 5, 6, 7 car lengths now, and now Abbott in third place. He's starting to close in on Chris Cable, whose lap times are starting to diminish here as John Abbott looks underneath, coming out of 4. He's got the momentum, he's got the move. If he can hold down there, he'll get the pass. The 05 stuck up high. Cable not going to let go easy, though, Dakota, as they come out of 2. Abbott going to take over his 05 machine. Runs up real close to the wall, and Abbott going to get the pass here in 3, and momentum shift coming out of 4. Abbott to second.
And how about John Hickman Jr. trying to follow him through there?
Ooh.
Chris Cable on the wall.
Chris Cable, I tell you what, the Monster Mile wall just come out and grabbed Chris Cable. That's what happened. He's slipping back too, Dakota. Just got passed by Traquel Dresbach, and just a second ago, John Hickman Jr. So Chris Cable all the way back to 5th place.
And his next competition will be Dwayne Vincent in 6th position in the 6th car with Brian Macklin behind him. I was watching these two. It looks like Dwayne Vincent has been kind of stuck in front of Macklin. Every time Macklin tried to get around him, Macklin couldn't get to run off the corner. So, about to say, watch out, Vincent. Macklin might start moving you.
And of course, that is for the 6th position. Brian Macklin in 7th. Let's look at this for a minute. Dwayne Vincent in that red and green tobacco sauce looking car. I tell you what, that car is real sporty looking at it. And then he's got what seems to be a new paint scheme that Brian's sporting here, the TimmyHill.com Chevrolet. Black with the, looks like that might be, it says TH, that might be Timmy Hill's logo there on the front of that hood. He's just a couple of car lengths behind Vincent here in 3 and 4.
Yeah, it does say Timmy Hill Sports on the side, so that is that Timmy Hill logo there, by the way, Keaton.
Of course, Timmy Hill, part-time real NASCAR driver, which is really neat. He's been on the iRacing service quite some. And Parker Kligerman has some ties with the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series on Monday nights. I think he's going to run that series full-time in 2013, Dakota.
I would say he'll run that if his schedule permits, you know.
Well, yeah, that's true.
NASCAR series.
That's true. First things first, right?
Yeah. Without a doubt.
And if we look further back behind Brian Macklin, the bone collector, Ronnie Potts in that number 2 machine, sitting 8th right now. Rick Faust is trying to get to him, can't quite make it, but I guess Ronnie's sitting there in his own little world there waiting on a caution probably, as he's running 24.4s as the leader is running 24.2s.
How about Chris Schallenberg, C.J. LeBaire, and David Lanza all in a race? I believe that's David Lanza somewhere.
And then we got a battle here for 10th as Schallenberger goes high, C.J. LeBaire goes low. I'm telling you something, C.J. LeBaire's on a mission. From 31st, as I mentioned earlier, he's worked himself all the way up to 11th. He's trying to crack the top 10, but Schallenberger, is going to get into the wall out of 2. It's going to send LeBaire down low as he makes the pass, but man, there is no room coming out of these turns, Dakota.
Without a doubt, and here comes David underneath in 35 as well, and Bobby Wetzel trying to follow him through.
That's probably Schallenberger in his car beating the wheel, saying tight, tight, tight. As he's given up multiple positions here as he comes out of 2, he stays off the wall this time, but he's still stuck up high as Bobby Wetzel tries to make the move underneath.
Wetzel looking like he's going to clear him off of corners. So 35 getting the wall again. That is Chris Schallenberg. He's getting the wall a lot. There goes the 5. Yeah, 4 working underneath him now. That's Mike King. A lot of cars going by. I think he's just about to pull down the pit road. I'm not sure, but he's losing a lot of speed here.
Absolutely. Well, he did hit that wall really hard. I'm looking at the front end of that car. It doesn't appear too bad. You can see the right front, though, bent up a little bit. But I tell you what, being tight at Dover is probably not very fun, is it, Dakota?
I can tell you right now, there's a few things that could be wrong with that. It could be not tight. It could be a mix of tight and loose. The wheel could be real sensitive. Something could be broken in the front end. There's a lot of stuff that could be going on. See, he's actually pulling off in pit road. Looks like he's going to come down here, and we'll see what he does. As he's got to get down to 35 miles per hour without spinning the car out, do the brake bias or anything like that.
And folks, Chris Schallenberger is sitting 11th in points, just 18 behind the leader. This is an unscheduled pit stop. Moments ago, we saw him hit the wall, and he's pulled down on pit road, and he has pulled it behind the garage. Chris Schallenberger, Dakota, is out of this race.
And that's unfortunate for him, especially for where he was in points, but it's like a lot of people would say, there's always next week, and I know what Iowa's team's thinking. What he's thinking is it's always next week. We'll just have to come back and do a little bit better.
Well, I mean, you know, he was slipping back a little bit. He had the damage. Obviously, the car's probably real tight, but it didn't look like it was undrivable. Might have been just one of those nights where Chris was just ready to call it quits, and he's pulled it behind the garage, and like we said, he's done. So he will go. He's already sitting 34th, 2 laps down. That's how quick it goes sour for you. Speaking of being laps down, Dakota, 30 drivers out of 41 that took a lap here tonight is on the lead lap. Douglas Wyatt being the first one off pace, 1 lap down. He sits 31st.
And that's unfortunate for Douglas Wyatt, but that could be a bunch of things that have put him a lot down. Maybe being a little bit off the pace, or just being caught up in the big jump that we called earlier, the first 10 laps of the race. But it's been green flag since his first caution, so I wonder if a lot of the trouble was taken out in the wrecks there.
Yeah, you have to wonder that. To a degree, too, this league here, man. I tell you what, when things get settled down, they'll get on a green flag run like last week at Atlanta and the week before that. There's always that smooth, long green flag run, and I think we're seeing it right now, and hopefully we'll see some green flag pit stops here soon. I know the right fronts on these cars are probably starting to wear down, as John Abbott's has just a little bit, as he gave up the second place to John Higman Jr., and now he's running a little bit slower lap times than Kel Dresbach, who's sitting fourth, and he's catching him. But still out front here, Chad Cole putting the heat on at Dover. He's over nearly 3 seconds ahead of second place John Higman Jr. as we continue to run green flag laps here. This race again sponsored by Bob Earl VRC. It's the Bob Earl VRC 160. And a seat going to Landon Huffman in the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. Man, I wish Abbott would change that, because that's a long, long, long word. I can't ever get it. I'm just going to abbreviate it. He won a Bob Earl Racing cockpit, and Bob Earl was actually here on TeamSpeak and in the broadcast to present it to him. And I bet Landon sure is enjoying that cockpit.
We'll just call it the Monday Night Series for short.
Yeah, the Monday Night Series for short.
Yeah, that's a real deal that he was able to give away that prize, and I was kind of jealous. You know, I won't watch those. Those are real nice. If you haven't seen them, go to BobEarl.com, and I know they've got them there. You can kind of look at them, and I believe he has a holiday deal going on with the shipping price and whatnot, which is also helping out.
Yeah, again, that's BobEarlRacing.com. You can get one. In fact, put it on your Christmas list. And if you're watching this broadcast and you've got a son that you're watching, or a brother, or a husband, or a cousin, or in-law, or whatnot, or friend, go check it out. BobEarlRacing.com. He's got different kind of designs. He's got one that's $349 plus shipping that features a whole lot of cool stuff. And again, this is sponsored, tonight's race, by Bob Earl and the VRC 160 here at Dover International Speedway. 60 laps complete, Dakota, 100 to go. We're going to go ETV side by live, so you won't mix a thing. On the left's going to be the commercials, and on the right will be the race. We'll see you in a minute. And we are back. This is the Icebreaker Winter Series as the man out front, the 7 car, Chad Cole, leading the way over 3.5 seconds towards the lead. John Higman Jr. second, John Abbott third, Keldrez back fourth. Chris Cable has fell back to fifth. Ronnie Potts sixth, Rick Fout seventh. Brian Macklin eighth, Dwayne Vincent ninth, and C.J. Lavere finally cracking the top 10, Dakota.
How about that Bobby Wetzel in 11th position after starting 28th, John Hanna Jr. in 12th, Glenn Camel in 13th, the Navy Nuke Eric Arnold in 14th, Jonathan Cadell in 15th, David Lanza just actually falling back from 16th to 17th, Jose Gonzalez up to 16th, Rich Jett 18th, Mike King in 19th, and Randy Wells in 20th position.
Just to continue on down a little bit further, Mike Montesi 22nd, John Milwain 23rd, Joey Katina 24th, White Wolf Jr. 25th, Brian Harvey 26th, and Ritter, who qualified on the pole, guys, and took a hard, vicious lick into the wall. Got a little bit of damage, is right there in 27th on the tail end of the lead lap, and 28th on down, Dakota, to 41st. They're all at least one lap or a couple of laps down.
Yeah, Greg Netherwood is leading at 1 lap down charge, so 4 down.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Is let's see, we had one pull off. David Lanza was down pit road, 27th position, just went a lap down, so that might be a green flag scheduled pit stop, and we should be seeing them here pretty shortly.
Yeah, I was thinking about 70 laps, somewhere around 70 laps. I know they had cautions in the beginning, but maybe David Lanza wanting to come down just as soon as he can, just to get out of here, possibly, or I believe he might have pulled it behind the wall. I'm not quite sure here.
And remember, not everybody did come down pit road that last caution, did they?
Not quite everybody.
So, some will be able to go a little bit further than others. David Lanza probably one of those that couldn't quite. Actually, David has pulled it behind the garage here, Dakota, so that may not have been a green flag scheduled pit stop.
Yeah, I saw that. And your pick there, Chad Cole, the leader, almost getting in trouble. He was trying to lap the 71 at Keith Brooks Jr. and Keith got the wall a little bit and scared him as they had another car right in front of him. So the leader working heavy traffic right now.
And I'll tell you what, let's get on board with the number 7 machine, the leader Chad Cole, as he maneuvers through the traffic. There you see on the right side, White Wolf Jr. or White Wolf goes by him. This is what it's like at Dover International Speedway on old tire style here. So Chad Cole putting the tires to the floor here, ain't he?
Yeah, and his hands always busy in this car. They always will be. Throttle controls, again, another big thing here, and I think listening to the car right now, at least for me, I can tell that he's kind of got that mastered. It's showing as he has a 3.2 second lead, so Chad Cole looking really strong out here.
Yeah, and look ahead of him, man. Look at the amount of cars that's either already a lap down or two, or still on the lead lap here. He's got Terry Lane in front of him. He's already a lap down, but just a whole gaggle of cars. So, you know, crew chief right now telling Chad Cole just to be patient. Look, you got a huge lead. You've drawn it every lap. You're up to 3.5 seconds on John Higman Jr. Let the cars come to you. And I'm sure that's what the true crew chief, Mr. Cole's telling him right now.
And well, what I was mentioning there is I can see where Chad Cole's making the time. If you watch the 82, or what I was watching was, he's going up almost half a lane to a lane higher than Chad Cole was in the corner. So Chad Cole has still got that car turning after 80 laps here, which is rather amazing, or 79, excuse me.
Back to the view here of like a TV angle here as he catching that McDonald's 98 machine that you see to the left, that red and yellow car there on your screen. As they come back here across the start-finish line, fans cheering Mr. Cole on as he leads here, looking for win number 1.
Yeah, we got to remember exactly how Brian Macklin lost the win last week. A guy like Matt LaCrosse was running up front. He lost the top 10 finish and finished in the back of the lap down. A lot of that was pit strategy, so we got to see when he comes down, whether he comes down too early or comes down too late. Some things could just not play in his favor. The big thing is if you come down and we get a caution, you've got to go 30
Matt just got turned.
Just make
Brian.
sure.
Brian McIntyre in the 8th position, just got turned. The 65 machine, Ed Williams Jr., was up high, and it looked like Brian might have just come up. He may have thought that he was clear, Dakota. What's your take on that? It looked like maybe, ooh, that was close.
Yeah, it looked like he was clear. He's in a hurry trying to get away from the 6 car and just get in the front of the 5. He tapped the 6 a little bit, but the 6 had nowhere to go. Wow.
Yep.
Tough luck for Ryan Macklin, who was in 8th position. Gonna go way back now if he can finish the race.
And guys, we were scheduled for green flag run pit stops here. Not anymore. The 31, you see him down there on the bottom of the screen going around. Heavy damage.
It's the leader lead down pit road here. You gotta wonder and want for everybody the speed. You gotta wonder what these guys are gonna do. We gotta know. We have to know that they're gonna take 4 tires of fuel. We've been out here for 80 laps. Some of these guys, if not some 70 some laps here. 4 tires of fuel probably gonna be the call for almost everybody. And watching the speed limit's gonna be big. As I watch Chad Cole come down 34, 35 miles per hour all the way down, being very, very careful not to speed here. Is the right side. It's getting ready to come up here.
Chad's got that good pit stop spot too. He's right there before the entrance to the garage area or victory lane, and so he doesn't have anyone to, worry about going through their pit stop or someone blocking his. Ronnie Potts in the 2 car is right behind him in that pit lane. So, like we thought, right sides were up on the Coles, the left side's going up. He's out and away.
They almost had trouble getting out. He had a car on his outside that almost would have turned him coming out if he wouldn't have stayed down. So Chad Cole sneaking off the pit road with the lead. Clean stop for him.
And of course, the guys that you see, the drivers you see in front of Cole right now are all lap down cars. So those guys are trying to fight their way, claw their way back into the lead lap. Terry Lane being one of them. He's leading the charge right behind the pace car right now. He's sitting 28. But here's the kicker. You would almost need to probably pit here and stay a lap down, Dakota, because once you get waved around the pace car, there's no time to pit. You mentioned how slow pit road speed is. You can't just go down pit road and go get you some gas and come back out. We'll be green by then. So this is an interesting situation that these guys are caught up in right now.
Not only that, when they get waved around, they'll get the iRacing wave, which is basically they get waved around at 1 to green right before we're getting ready to go green flag, and they close the pit entrance and nobody can go in there without getting a black flag unless they pitted the first 2 caution laps. So it'll be closed either way for them. So I don't know that they can make it on field, whether they've already pitted or not. The tires are probably going to be bad. It's going to be interesting to watch, to say the least.
You might see some of them here change their mind. You got 2 Fearless Racing Chevrolets up there right now. You got the 82 Terry Lane and Douglas White right behind him. So those guys obviously on teammates. One's a Toyota of Terry Lane and one's a Chevrolet, excuse me. So these guys, let's see if they come down pit road. Nope, going to stay out. So obviously those 2 guys have committed to staying out.
For sure. But, either way, Chad Cole is going to remain the leader here.
Yep, Chad Cole continues to lead. John Higman Jr. 2nd. John Abbott 3rd. Chris Cable 4th. And Kildress back is 5th. And I'll tell you what, see, as the cars are now waving around the pace car here, so that's 1 to go. These cars should line up 2 by 2, right?
Yeah, the one thing to love about Dover and cautions is that the caution laps are very, very short. They were actually, it was a minute and 20 laps, 1 minute and 20 seconds last time by, but they're usually not that long. Very short caution laps and amount of laps, which is great for us because we don't have to sit here that long and try to talk about them pacing here.
Yeah, next caution we're going to see if we can't get a couple of guys in the booth, maybe 1 if not 2. But again, we're just passing halfway here, Dakota. So 85 laps complete out of 160. This is the Bob Earl VRC 160 at Dover. The Monster Mile is the 7 machine. Going to lead them to the green. We haven't had a caution in a while. Fresh tires on the track. All cars, for the most part, as Chad Cole takes us green.
Great restart by Chad Cole. The outside lane not really going, but the inside lane not going anywhere either. I think the inside lane was a lot worse than the outside lane, but Chad Cole, great restart running away. I don't think that they can catch him. He actually does clip the apron, a little bit scary there, but running away.
Absolutely, the leader, Chad Cole, running away already. John Higman Jr. in that Eden Construction Chevrolet sitting second. And, excuse me, he's, caution's coming out now, Dakota. 67, Brian Harvey, running 22nd. Steve Ritter, also involved, coming out of turn 4. The Hippies Paint Shop Dorito Chevrolet, Fearless Racing, Brian Harvey, got some damage.
Yeah, I'm watching to see what happened here. So I'm watching him come out of turn 2. Nothing abnormal. Still going. Looks like the 2, I believe. That is the running pots in front of him. Is the 16 moves to the outside. Oh, he just moves up and tags the 16. And
that's just. It almost kind of looks like both cars going for the same piece of real estate on the track, and as me and you both know, the end result on that one, as you can see, the 67's around.
Keaton, I think we know that too well.
Yeah, it happens. You know, some people tell me just I should stick to broadcasting, and tell you what, I've done it lately. I haven't really raced a whole lot of iRacing here lately. Most of it's been involved in the sim with just broadcasting or watching races. So I think I'm having more fun doing that. Yeah, but I still know what it's like. Yeah, that's probably more the reason why, right?
All right. Well, you know what? I just think we have some kind of radio hooked up to the current leader, Chad. I'm going to let, because this is Michael Keaton's pick, I'm going to let Michael Keaton take it away.
Yeah, Chad Cole, I don't want to jinx you here, man. I chose you tonight. You're looking mighty good. My hands are still, my fingers are still crossed. Do I need to cross my toes?
You know, I think the fingers should be enough for you, Mike. There, I think we got him pretty well covered tonight. Feeling pretty good about the way I've been racing here at Dover.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. You caught Chris Cable there before the lone green flag run started, kinda. You got by him, and from then on, John Higman Jr. was able to get by Cable, and then you got up to about a 3.5 second lead on John Higman Jr. on that lone green flag run. Were you hoping for a green flag pit stop, or are you kind of happy where the caution fell?
No, I was hoping it'd go green, and then I'm pretty good at getting on and off pit road, so I was really hoping that no caution would come, but it's just part of the game. You know how it is.
Absolutely, and you know, going into Dover tonight in the Bob Earl VRC 160 here, you are in the lead, 7 points on Abbott, who's not too far behind you. But I guess you've noticed that Brian Macklin has been wrecked, and he has taken the car behind the garage, and he's done. He sits third in points.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I really expected a big challenge from Brian, but I really thought he'd follow me up through the field there. You know, we didn't get that great at qualifying runs, and I just expected him to follow me all the way through the field, but you know, he got kind of stuck there halfway through the top 10, and I guess that's what happens. You get stuck in a bad crowd, you end up getting taken out.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chad, while we still got you, real quick, John Higman Jr. in that Eden Construction red and black machine Chevrolet on the outside, going to start on you, has turned a faster lap in race, a 23.437 to your 23.480, but that was on lap 14, so lap 14 must have been a real quick lap for everybody, but nonetheless, John Higman Jr. Is pretty quick here at Dover. You got anything for him?
Yeah, I think so. I'm more of a long run guy. I can't get in those like hot 5 laps at to start a run, so I'm just kind of do it easy and try to be there at the end.
Alrighty, well, man, we'll let you go. The lights just turned off. That means you're gonna go green. Keep it clean, Chad.
Thanks, man.
All right, we'll see you, buddy.
And there you have it from Chad Cole. And remember to like him on Facebook, the Chad Cole Fan Club for Life. It's there.
I tell you what, he's looking good out front in that 7 Chevrolet Valvoline car. He's got John Higman Jr., as we mentioned, on his outside. Chris Cable's directly behind him. Rick Fouts to the right of Cable in 4th. And rounding out the top 5 in the I-League race, Chevrolet, also sponsored by www.hippiespaintshop.com, John Abbott.
Say what?
I bet
70 laps to go. It's me about 69 when we take the green flag here, Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I bet if we talked to John, I bet John would tell me probably to cross my toes, don't you think?
Yeah, probably just a bit.
Abbott's going to have good luck here tonight, though.
Yeah, Chad Cole just took the green flag again. Great restart from him. Again, no challenge to the 05 and 60. Nobody able to touch him on restarts. It's like the leader always gets a great jump on the restarts. And when it comes to Chad Cole, like he said, he can't hot lap it, he says. But he looks to be running away with it right now, Keaton.
Yeah, he said he wasn't a hot lapper. I'll tell you what, Chris Cable did pass John Higman Jr. right there on the restart. He completed his pass in turn 2. He's in 2nd now. He's got his sights set on the leader, Chad Cole. Can he run him down here? And if he can, just like Cole mentioned, he's got a long race set up in that under the hood. He almost lost it out of 1, but Chad's just probably getting away from Cable as quick as he can.
Yeah, I'm looking at Cable's looking like he's really loose. He was loose off of 2, loose into 3 and 4. Not so bad coming off, but I mean, looking at him, he's having a lot of trouble hanging on this thing. It's like almost like the beginning of the races. He's sideways coming off of 2 again.
Oh yeah, I see that. The nose of that car almost looks like it's wanting to snap around on him. The 60 machine, John Higman Jr., trying to take advantage of it. Coming out of turn 4, he's got a little bit of momentum built up. He's got the draft. He's going to look to pass. No, the 60 car can't quite make the move yet, but Higman is there. And Cable not ready to give it up as he gets a little loose again, Dakota.
Yeah, and Higman cannot go that car down there without chance of it pushing up the track and just completely taking out Chris Cable. Because you've got to arc the corner here. That's a big part of racing at Dover, is arcing the corner. As Higman on the outside of Chris Cable here.
I tell you what, John Higman Jr. is one of those guys looking for a little bit of luck. He's raced the 2 races before this race. This is the 3rd race of the Icebreaker Series. But he's sitting back in 35th position, 59 points down from the leader. Wow, what a night this would be if he can finish in the top 5.
Tell you what, caution flag is out. I believe it's 22 here. John Mullane in 22nd position, or was 20th. Not quite sure, but I'm watching him coming off of turn 4. Looks like he just got the apron and got a little loose and turned it in front of the whole field. And then Ed Williams Jr. also getting involved when it comes to checking up after the wreck there, I see.
Smoke on the racetrack, which usually means caution. And we run a couple of big green flag laps there, so I wonder if the guys are okay with that or if we'll see them down pit road here, Dakota.
I'm thinking we've at least 10 to 15 laps here on the tires. I think we'll see everybody come down and take 4 tires here. But you know me, I'm probably wrong on that. I have a really bad strategy call. I think you saw it Thursday night. I'm not very good with that stuff anymore, it seems like. But we'll leave that to the drivers.
And they've just decided Chad Cole has elected to stay out, as well as the top 10, top 15. John Hanna Jr. in that GoDaddy.com Chevrolet, the 5 car running 13th. He came in. Rich Jett, 15th, came in. Mike King also in the lead lap. So Dwayne Vincent. Some of these guys coming in electing, but those guys are 13th and on back. So that's probably, you know, we're used to that. We're accustomed to that. 13th, 14th on back coming down. Nothing to lose there. But a lot to lose here. With Chad Cole leading.
That would have been bad if he was the only car to come down. It's about what happened to me Thursday. Ended up being the only car to come down when we needed everybody to come down. So at least he's being smart, keeping himself up front.
Absolutely, and joining the chat room here, checking out the race, Doug Roth. We've mentioned that he is being subbed in for by Greg Netherwood. And just to check on things with Mr. Netherwood, he's currently running 25th. We just had a caution. He was not in it. He's in the 43 machine tonight for Doug Roth. And he's on the lead lap. He's got that Chevrolet looking pretty good. Just trying to stay clean.
Speaking of Greg Netherwood subbing for Doug Roth, I believe we have a radio connection with him. Greg Netherwood, you got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, I saw you get delayed around here a few laps ago. What happened there?
It's been really loose all day. I haven't really had the handle all night. No matter what I do, I just can't seem to get any speed, and I'm all over the place, and I'm more or less a rolling chicane.
Hey, this is Mike up in the booth. I'll tell you what, Greg, any pressure coming in tonight at Dover with Doug Roth sitting 4th in points, 13 back from the leader, Chad Cole? How much pressure did Roth put on you, Greg?
He actually didn't tell me give me any pressure. He just said, you know, go out there, run your race, run as hard as you can, get me the best finish you can. Unfortunately, I just really haven't been able to find a handle all night. I feel terrible for him. I'm sitting here in 22nd, but you know, in the short burst, the car really doesn't feel that bad. So hopefully, if we can, you know, get a couple spots here, maybe near the end, get a nice little short run at the end, I might be able to get him a top 10. But you know, time will tell.
Well, I'll tell you what, Doug Roth is hanging out here just for a couple of minutes in the chat room with us. He's watching the broadcast. He told us to tell you good luck, and of course. Like you mentioned, you're trying to stay clean. You're in the back. You're on the lead lap now, and time will tell.
Thank you, and thank you, Doug, for giving me the opportunity to run for you.
Absolutely. I know Doug Roth is more than pleased. Will be more than pleased. So, again, that's Greg Netherwood, who's subbing in for the man in 4th place in the point standings in the RSR Icebreaker Winter Series. He's sitting 4th. Doug Roth not able to make tonight's event, but the good news is he does have a sub. And it is Greg Netherwood. And Dakota, Chad Cole still hanging on the lead. Chris Cable 2nd. We're going to be going green as they come out of 2 here.
Actually, Keaton, they go green coming out of 2. It's usually out of 4, just so you know.
Well, I meant we're going to go green and they're coming out of 2. I know my terminology is probably a little off. But yeah, we'll go green out of 4, but they're coming out of 2. Two go green.
It's in 2-4.
You got to go through turn 2 before you get turn 4. Hey, you got to go through turn 2 before you go through turn 4, baby.
Some might disagree, but you know what, Keaton? Let's agree to disagree, and we'll just crank it up here.
Crank it up, ETV style. Huge wreck, Dakota, as we go to caution here on the backstretch. Trying to figure out where this one came from. It might have been Mr. Randy Wells who got a little loose in 17th place coming out of 2. And John Hanna Jr. nowhere to go but into the back door of him. Randy Wells, Rich Jett, Mike King going to be involved with this one as well. The 88 machine involved. Whole host of cars. Brian Harvey involved as well. Ronnie Potts, Nathan Little, Terry Lane, Wyatt Wolf, but no Greg Netherwood.
I am very shocked at the small hit that Adam Roberts took. Looked like he might not even have much damage out of that. Just a small, tiny front fender bump, and he was able to sneak through. So that's a very impressive move by the 88, who had it all happening right in front of him there.
I'll tell you what, if the fabulous John Westland can go back to that replay, I know he's going to it back right now, but checking out the 22 machine, Greg Netherwood, and if Doug Roth is still watching, man, I tell you what, count your blessings, go buy our lottery ticket, because Greg Netherwood went to the high side, Dakota. Go back and watch that. Did he not pick a great place to go to get to avoid that?
I'm telling you, there's a reason why Doug Roth put him in the car, and it probably wasn't because he's rich or something like that, you know.
Here's the deal. In racing and in real life, there's only two ways to go. There's left and there's right. You can go left or you can go right. Greg chooses to go right, and it's the right decision. Because he avoided a huge wreck. And I tell you what, that took out probably 7 to 8 cars, and they've all got at least some sort of extensive damage. Greg's up to 20th, and the reason why we're covering this story so big is because Doug Roth is out on business trip, so he's not able to race, but he can be subbed for, and it's Greg Netherwood subbing for him. And then Doug Roth is sitting 4th in points, so this is a big deal. We're 3 races into this thing. Dover being the 3rd race of the 10-race season here in the winter Icebreaker Winter Series with Real Sim Racing, Dakota.
Yeah, and I know a lot of cars in the back came down pit road, but your leader's staying out here. Chad Cole, one of them, staying out. So I'm thinking at least the top 5, top 10 stayed up. But look who just cracked the top 5.
Bobby Wetzel. Bobby Wetzel. I tell you what, man, this guy. Is there a way we can get Bobby Wetzel in here? Bobby Wetzel, man, I tell you what, at Atlanta last week surprised everybody. He surprised me, but I think Bobby surprised himself. We did interview him, and he was quite candidly happy with it. He won the race at Atlanta, come out of nowhere, and won it. And that's how you do it. That's how you win championships. And Bobby Wetzel now putting on a show for us here at Dover International Speedway, Dakota, as you mentioned, cracking the top 5.
And Keaton, I just answered your prayers and kind of, I guess, gave you.
Did you get Bobby?
You now have Bobby Wetzel on the mic.
Bobby Wetzel, man, this is Mike Keaton up in the booth. We were just talking bad about you. I mean, good. We were talking great about you. At last week at Atlanta, man, I tell you what, everything going your way, you won. And I can't believe my eyes, man. You're in the top 5, but that's not the biggest impressive thing here. You started 28th. What's going on, Bobby?
I got loose in qualifying, and it caused me to.
Go ahead, Bobby.
I just had to start in the back, so it's no big deal.
Looks like Bobby's cross-examination here getting to him. He's in the race, and some of the race control was talking to him, and so he's trying to answer us and answer them. What a coincidence. Bobby, you still got us, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, man, we know you're going back green. We just wanted to get you in here for just a second. Good luck, man. Get that thing home finished first.
Thanks.
That's Bobby. That's kind of unusual there, but Bobby Wetzel nonetheless in 5th place, going to restart this Dover machine, and Chad Cole taking us to the green here, Dakota, as he gives another great restart.
This guy is the king in restarts. He knows what's going on with these restarts, and it's hard to beat him. But Chris Cable not doing too bad this time, able to somewhat stick with him. But can he do well? Nope. Chris Cable's kind of slipping back a little bit sliding there as John Hickman Jr. knows to go beside all of them here.
And of course, that's John Abbott in 4th place behind Hickman Jr. there, as we've gone back green just a couple of seconds ago, and little battle here for 4th as Chad Cole not really able to get away just too good. He's about 3-4 car lengths ahead of Chris Cable coming out of turn 2. Man, Chad looks fast, doesn't he?
When does he not?
tell you what, you know, if it wasn't for bad luck, Chad Cole would have done a lot more well in the a lot better in the Monday night series.
I'll tell you what, Chad Cole's finished second the first week, second week, and is now leading. I don't want to see him finish second again. I would like to see him in victory lane, even though he is your pick.
Yeah, that's right.
For second position there.
Yeah, I was just about to mention now, John Higman Jr., if anybody can do it, I think Higman can. He got by Cable. Dakota, before this caution, you saw Eden, I keep calling him Eden, Higman was trying to get around Cable, couldn't do it. I mean, he worked the whole track trying to get by him and just couldn't quite do it. Now he's got by him. Can he catch Cole?
I don't think so. I think Higman was fast, but I don't think he was as fast as Cole, or even faster. I know Cole said he wasn't good in the long run, or short run, I mean, but I don't know that Higman's any better than Cole is. Cole seems to be the guy to be. I mean, he started back around 9th position. He charged through the field, and I mean, when he got up here, he hasn't looked back since. I feel he's the car to beat. I don't know that Higman can run him down. We'll just have to see what Higman can do here. Maybe he can surprise us.
Yeah, and you know, Higman Jr. also did have to battle around Cable there a little bit, so allowing Chad Cole to already gain the track position that he was already gaining, and then some. So John Higman Jr. gonna have, if he's gonna do it, he's gonna have to make up a lot of ground, and he's gonna have to do it quick because we are running out of laps here. Lap 114 complete out of lap 160, so under 50 laps to go here at Dover, and as you both know, Dakota, a mile around this track goes pretty quick.
23 seconds to be exact.
Yeah. 23 seconds a lap, so basically you can get 2 laps in, we're actually nearly 3 laps in 1 minute. So I'm from Alabama, you guys do the math.
Let's say about 2.5 laps. You know, I'm looking maybe as we're under 50 laps to go. I think
24 cars now being shown on the lead lap. Last one on the bubble, the number 2 machine, the Bone Collector, Ronnie Potts. He's 11 seconds down. He's got a little bit of damage, and Nathan Little is set to get the lucky dog should a caution come out. But with him being 4 laps down and 25th spot, he's going to need a lot of cautions, and he's probably got some damage, and he does. The 97 machine does have damage.
And by the way, Keaton just clarified, 44 laps remaining, somewhere around 20-some minutes left of racing possibly. But John Higman Jr., you asked if he could run down Chad Cole. He doesn't look like he's making up much time. He's not losing much, but he's not gaining a whole lot. Maybe losing just a little bit more than he's gaining right now.
Let's go to 12th, and a little update on Bobby Wetzel. He started 5th. He's lost 12th over to Mr. Jose Gonzalez, and now he's being battled again underneath Jonathan Cadell for 14th position. So Wetzel starting to go a little backwards here, Dakota.
I think something was seriously wrong with that car. I mean, the way he came off that corner looked like something was broken. Maybe the front sway bar or something in that car is not right. As he's kind of hanging on right now, just trying to survive. As now the 63 comes underneath him of Junior.
Yeah, I was trying to go back here. It looked like he may have grazed the wall back on lap 110. And he just hit the wall again there for good measure there on the backstretch. So I think the car is ill-handled right now.
Yeah, you know the unfortunate part about this is he's stuck on the outside. There's nothing he can do. If he wanted to even get the car off the track, couldn't. He's got to find a small gap and be able to get to the inside in a straightaway, or preferably the backstretch, and get to the bottom and try to pull it off there. And it looks like he's going to try to keep going here, but I mean, he looks like he has his hands full, as Randy Wells has also pulled it in the wall, as I just saw. Wall.
Yeah, Randy Wells claiming that his day is done. Back up here to 13th and 14th position, Jonathan Cadell, Jose Gonzalez at Don Q. Rums of Puerto Rico. From the Atlantic of Jose Gonzalez, he's always done a fabulous job when he races if his luck doesn't run out. He's sitting 14th right now. Dakota qualified 34th, so move him up 20 positions.
kind of a bad run for him. I mean, and I know we should probably talk to him if we get another caution. He's a guy that we want to talk to, but he's usually somebody to watch. I mean, he's, you know, for about a top 10 finish, he's running right where he should. I think that he can climb up a little bit more, and he might be faster than Jonathan Cadell here. But I have a question for you, Mike.
Yeah.
Why do you have me? Why are we both pronouncing our words all wrong today?
Well, that's just how it goes. This is Monday. Everybody knows how Monday is. It's Manic Monday. Of course, getting back from the weekend of being off work, being lazy, you know. Then you got to come to work on Monday. Everybody knows how it is on Mondays. Oh, it's Jose Gonzalez just took some of the... He just got a souvenir for one of his friends, Turn 4 Dover. Reached out and grabbed him.
I'm starting to wonder if you're just jinxing people now. First Bobby Wetzel and now Jose Gonzalez, both people that you tried to talk to and or that you've been talking about. Now they're both finding the wall pretty much a lot.
Yeah, of course, Jose Gonzalez getting his start with the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series on Monday nights that we had, where Landon Huffman won that 2012 championship. And of course, Jose electing to race in the Winter Series here. This is kind of like a get ready for 2013 Monday night series, if you will. This is Monday night, and a lot of these guys here are no stranger to the Full Throttle Cup Series. If I start to say that slow, I think I can get it. So I think they're just preparing for 2013. A lot of these guys using this time in this series to prepare for the big one, the Bob Earl Racing Cockpit that will be awarded to the winner again. Thank you, Bob Earl, for coming back on board with Real Sim Racing and ETV and sponsoring another racing seat cockpit.
How about the guy that actually won that in the Pro Series? I believe Landon Huffman getting his best finish in the Pro Series last week. I can't quite remember where it was, but I do remember seeing it on the RSR homepage, and I was actually broadcasting the race. I know he did get his best finish of the season. It was a top 10. Actually, it was 6th position. I do remember now.
Yeah, Landon Huffman, man, I tell you what, doing a great job getting into the Pro Series. He's on a great team, and speaking of great racing going on right here in 3rd and 4th. Chris Cable under fire from Rick Faust. Rick Faust just give up the 3rd position to Cable. We thought Faust was going to get back around him, couldn't quite do it. Now that allowed John Abbott to sneak up into there. He's cracked away the whip back in the top 5. He got by Kel Dressback, had to work to do it. And again, John Abbott racing that I-League race paint scheme here. And if you haven't checked them out yet, iLeagueRace.com. Great for custom leagues and websites and hosting. Of course, this is who Real Sim Racing uses. iLeagueRace.com. John Abbott in 5th, Dakota.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was underneath Rick Faust, almost maybe get a little loose off the corner, not able to hang on to it. I mean, I'm telling you, it's small gaps these guys have to shoot for racing for position. There's only about 30 laps to go here. I'm telling you, nobody's giving room. If you thought it was bad earlier, it's going to be really bad now. Nobody's going to give room. It's all about shooting for that gap and hoping the car stakes now.
And this is not the battle for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. This is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. If you want to find the battle for 1st and 2nd, you're going to have to go up about half a straightaway, because that's where Cole is. He's now passing the start-finish line. And as you see, these guys just now coming out of turn 4. Chris Cable high outside the Rick Faust machine underneath. And guess who he's bringing? Abbott.
Yeah, and just to clarify, Chad Cole has a 5-second lead over the 3rd place car of Chris Cable, and a 1-second lead over John Hick Jr., who was valiantly hanging in there, but kind of falling off a little bit more now.
Yeah, he's kind of falling off a little bit by the wayside. You got to give him credit, though. He's up there. And just a quick update on the man running 19th position, the 43 cars. Greg Netherwood, he's running there for Doug Roth. He's got that car in position. He just passed Bobby Wetzel, who we had on the broadcast earlier. And now there is a caution, Dakota.
Yeah, wondering who was involved. There's
11th place. Yeah, it was the 11th place car of John Hanna Jr. trying to get by Joey Katina for the 9th position, it looks like. And, man, Tell you what, just a little bit of contact will send you sideways, won't it?
Yeah, that'd be maybe a little bit of prediction code may mess it up there just a little bit or something of the sort there. The 5, John Hanna Jr. ended up around, able to roll away. Fortunately for him.
Yeah, fortunately for everyone else, John Hanna Jr. able to stay down low, like you mentioned before the broadcast started, that when these cars do wreck, they tend to go down low, and that's exactly what happened. Speaking of going down low, Chad Cole and the rest of the field going to come down pit road for what could be, and more than likely will be, the last time tonight. 35 miles an hour, Dakota. Tell you what, my grandmother can run faster than that.
I don't quite know about that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, her little rascal will go faster than that. I hope she's not listening. She's going to take back my Christmas gifts.
But Chad Cole getting to his perfect pit stop there. Just change the subject away from that little scary.
Yeah, please do.
Scary deal there. Chad Cole, 4 tires, left side's up, and they're down, and he is away. Chad Cole again, that perfect pit stall. As we said, I wonder if he actually did that on purpose somehow. It's possible. Chad Cole winning the battle off pit road there.
Won the battle, but he didn't win the war. John Abbott, right sides only, Dakota, and he's going to have the lead when we go back green here. Going to see if we can't get Jose Gonzalez in here with us, but John Abbott taking the lead. In fact, Mike King did stay out. It looks like the left side tires are down on the apron, though, Dakota. He is going to be committing. There's the commitment cone. He's in. He's coming down pit road. Mike King just probably trying to lead at least 1 lap or so, but not going to lead now because John Abbott will be leading.
Yeah, well, Keaton, again, your prayers answered. You now have Jose Gonzalez in the booth.
Jose Gonzalez, driver of the number 11 machine, all the way from the Atlantic, the Don Q Rums of Puerto Rico, sitting 17th place. Jose Gonzalez, how's the night going for you at Dover?
How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing great, man. How are you doing? 13th position now as you cross the line.
Yeah, I don't know. This track is kind of hard. It's not set up for me. It's very difficult to pass. I think I started 32nd place or something like that.
Yeah, and that's what we've been seeing a lot here tonight. Jose passing here at Dover is just one of those things. You got to wait until the guy in front of you messes up, and then you make your move, because you're right. There's no high lane here, and trying to keep that bottom lane from being open is hard to do.
Yeah, in the outside, I mean, it's almost impossible to pass. So when you restart on the outside, you gotta, get inside as soon as you can, and just hope nobody, starts sneaking their noses just before the turn. So because you can lose 5 or 6 spots easily. So I'm just trying to stay away from trouble,
And I know one of the biggest things tonight on getting any position is surviving the wrecks, sneaking through. Do you have any strategy to get through? I know Dover for somewhat a self-cleaning track, everything goes to the bottom, almost everything at least. What is your strategy to get through these wrecks?
Well, I'm as soon as I see smoke, I just I just go to the side and brake, and I don't take any chances. And it's tough to do here because there's not a lot of space.
Do you happen to close your eyes any?
Say it again?
Do you happen to close your eyes any?
Our engineer Jose said that. I know what he does. He probably just closes his eyes and hope that he escapes the smoke.
Yeah. And,
all right.
I got my little Don Q drink right here with me, so I'm always smooth.
There you go. Rums of Puerto Rico, the rum capital of the world. We'll let you get back to it. Good luck, Jose. I'll tell you what, Jose Gonzalez, a little fun in the booth with us. Is John Abbott off to a great start here, Dakota. Right sides only. Car looking pretty decent. A little loose there. The left side's he's gonna get it. I knew he was gonna get it. He got the wall. That car just looked like it was starting to get loose on him. Chad Cole underneath. Now John Abbott back underneath. That wall ain't gonna mess with Abbott.
Yeah, but Cole's back bumper might.
Whew. You know,
That was
his car looks awfully loose.
Oh yeah. Loose here, Keith.
Well, you know, Abbott, caution. Abbott did take 2 tires. This will help settle him out here for sure. Big, huge wreck on the backstretch. Dakota. And we're going to take a second or two to figure out where this one came from. And it looks like it might have started with a 6 machine. Dwayne Vincent in 6th place.
Oh, I know. So I see Michael Tessie after the wreck destroyed.
There's going to be a lot of guys destroyed with this. It looks like let's give John a second to get up on the E1. I'm going to call this one as it happens. But the 6 machine in 6th place, Dwayne Vincent, as well as a host of others involved in this one. Late 139 out of 160.
Dude, you want to get dizzy? Go for a ride with a 20 there.
See if we can't get this one on the E1 here. Here we are. There you go, mid-screen. There you go, 6. Dwayne Vincent, the 20 car, 26 car. Now watch this. 20 is going to come back up onto the track, do an e-ticket ride, and then you're just going to see smoke. And 44, bam, hit the inside wall there in turn 3. The Monster Mile claiming a dozen more here, Dakota, as the leaders elect to stay off pit road.
I'm not sure that was a great move by John Abbott there, because he is on those 2 tires on that. As we saw, he just kind of put him in the wall. I wonder if that tightened up his car or what, but he's either way, he didn't quite gain a whole lot of spots. I expect a 3rd, and possibly going to fall back a lot more now. As on the restart, he will have Chris Cable right behind him, and Rick Fouts on the outside of him. And in car with a 20, I told you might get a little dizzy with this. This ride here I mean, he goes around in circles. He's hit or every direction. It seems like what a ride for the 20 car there of Mike Montesi.
Yeah, that happened right in front of him. You see the 6 car, nowhere to go for Montesi there, and here comes the spinorama, like you'd see at a theme park, like Dakota said. Oh, he took an ETV ticket ride too on his roof.
I was a kid.
You spin me around, baby, right round, round. Well, guess what? Bad news for Greg Netherwood and the Doug Roth crew. Greg was involved in that wreck, and Dakota, looking at the car, man, it don't look pretty.
I know it doesn't. I hate to say that for him, but I mean, he's had a kind of a beat-up car all night. Hopefully he can make something out of it, though. And get that 43 car up there for Doug Roth. But joining us in the broadcast booth right now over radio connection, we have the guy who took right sides only on that restart. Was looking good, nailed the wall. John Abbott, how you doing, bud?
Oh man, that it can work. 2 can work. I went pussyfooting through the corner on the restart, just filling her out. And I said, "Come on, let's go." So I got aggressive there and just kind of missed the exit a little bit and hit the wall. But wasn't for that, I think the strategy would work.
And is your car still going to be competitive with that big damage, or are you going to keep going backwards, in your opinion here?
I think it'll be fine here. We'll get sorted out and kind of see what we got here.
John, it's Mike Keaton up. Yeah, John, you hear that? John picked you, John.
Thank you, John. Magic fingers, appreciate it, man. It's always good if you got somebody in your corner, and you know, you can't always win these races doing what everybody else does. And I've tried 2 tires. I've won a lot of races on 2 tires, and it can work. I just screwed that corner up there on the restart a little bit.
That's exactly that was exactly my next question there, John. You know, you did take 2 sides, the right sides, and the car looked awfully loose. With this caution, has the car gotten able to settle down now?
Yeah, I actually pushed up in the wall off of 2. Once I figured the car was going to be fine there, I actually got a little tight there on the exit. And so I think we'll be fine. We'll see here. If I can't get going, I'll try to stay out of everybody's way best I can.
All right, John. Well, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Again, that's John Abbott, who sits second in .7 points exactly behind the leader, Chad Cole, who's right in front of him. So John's definitely got to finish up here to stay competitive here. But Chad Cole back to the green, leads us. Lap 144 will be completed. John Hickman Jr. second, John Abbott third. Dakota.
A great jump by Cole, but who I was watching there, I think that was Rick Bouncing 03. He did not go. I'm thinking he was in fourth gear on that restart instead of second. And I mean, he's all the way back from about what was second to sixth as we have car around. All I saw was Verizon.
60, John Hickman Jr. running second position. And this is one of those deals where he gets loose in front of the car behind him. And when you're that car, you have nowhere to go but to the back rear bumper. And man, I tell you what, picked the back deck lid up off that car. John Abbott did.
Well, Abbott back up to second.
And with that move, Abbott does move up to second. But here's the decision. Will he be given an EOL penalty for that? And if that's the case, if I'm Abbott, I'm going to come down pit road. The worst I can get to is 18th. And we still got, well, I don't know, Dakota. 145 of 160. It's what, 15 laps? 13, 12 when we go green. Ooh.
Yeah,
oh, he's coming up pit road.
Yeah,
coming up pit road.
He's down there, Keaton.
Yep, I think instead of probably giving the EOL penalty, he'll probably just come down pit road. He probably either knows he's going to get it or electing to come down pit road again. You know, that's not too bad. He's going to be able to get brand new tires and get those left sides and probably get a little bit of that front end damage fixed. But man, tough break for Hickman and Abbott there, because that's basically taking both of them out of the equation for the meantime.
Well, I can see these drivers are still having fun, even though we're having a bunch of pacing laps. Jose Gonzalez coming over the radio telling John Abbott no suit for you. So not really sure what's going on with that, but definitely have a little bit of fun on this on these pace laps. But you know what? Why don't we step away? We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And we're back here live at the ETV's live coverage of the Bob Earl VRC 160, the Real Sim Racing Icebreaker Winter Series. 160 laps was set for today's event. We're on lap 148, Dakota. 13 to go. It's starting to wind down.
Ever so close to the end, thankfully. I mean, this is a long race. especially with the caution laps. I think it would have been over if we'd have stayed green from here, but all these caution laps are really killing us right now. At least the drivers are still having fun, and we are on the backstretch getting set to go green flag racing once more.
Yeah, and we mentioned John Higman Jr. and Mr. Abbott, John Abbott, who was involved in that wreck. John Higman Jr., 18th position, 1 lap down. John Abbott was given the EOL. He's back to 15th. And but the good news, he does have 4 fresh tires. Obviously, the case was worse for Higman Jr., who's 1 lap down, trapped. So, pace car taking the nosedive down the victory lane and pit lane as Chad Cole takes us back green here. 12 to go at the line.
And look who had snuck into the 5th position. Jose Gonzalez off a little pit strategy there, up to 5th position, and Chad Cole getting a good restart there, but Chris Cable sticking with him up front here.
Hey, he said he was going to close his eyes. Jose closing his eyes, moving up to 5th position. Just ahead of him, Keldrez back getting a little loose. Rick Fout's going to go up underneath him. The 45 car stuck upside. Let's see if Jose can get to him and make the move for 4th. No, Keldrez back comes down into turn 1 and 2. Jose Gonzalez, though, with a lot of momentum here out of 2.
And I wonder where the 03 came from. You remember the last caution, I mean, he fell back like a rock, like he was stuck in 4th gear, and it wouldn't change gears, but he's back up there, and I believe it's 3rd position now. So, great comeback for him after that caution. Jose Gonzalez getting the wall there also.
And now that's going to open up the door for White Wolf Jr., who's sitting in there at 6th spot. And actually, Jose going to be able to fend him off here, putting the back bumper to him. Mike King also in that mix as well. Here comes Keldrez back, 4th position underneath the 03. No! The 03, Rick Fout's going to deny him. A lot of action going on here, Dakota.
Yeah, definitely a lot of action going on. As Jose Gonzalez is who I'm watching now. He's trying to hold off 63 at White Wolf Jr. White Wolf Jr. wants a spot. And I mean, Jose Gonzalez wiggling off the corner, getting the walls off the corner, this and that. Changing every lap is now the 04 looking to go Mike King above White Wolf Jr. Jose Gonzalez, so like I said, have a heck of a time hanging on, I think, right now.
And of course, that is the battle for 5th, that top 5. You know, you always want to get to that top 5 position. If you're 6th, 7th, or 8th, you know, the next, I like to, you know, put it in stepping stones. You know, first getting to the top 10, okay. And then second, you know, if you're 6th, 7th, get a top 5. And that's what these guys are trying to do. So Jose Gonzalez not going to be able to just lay over and sit there. He's going to have to fight for it. And ahead of him, speaking of fighting for 3rd, Rick Foust is putting his National Guard machine where it needs to be, keeping Keldrez back at bay in that Skunk Works Ohio-made White Whiskey Chevrolet as they go into 3.
Yeah, the good part is with only 6 laps remaining at the line, he's only got to hold off for not much longer, which is really good for him and for us. Is the 45 now not able? It looks like I think Rick Foust has got the center of the corner kind of dialed in as to where looks like Keldrez might have the entry of the corner kind of got where he's making up a little bit of time, but he's not getting much to the center or to the corner. So Rick Foust looks like he can hang on to this spot here for the rest of the race. I'm assuming as we only have 5 laps remaining at the moment.
Yep, 5 fingers in the air from the flagman right there. And this is pretty much the white flag if it were to go caution here, Dakota, because it would end. So this is considered the white flag of caution. And if these guys make it around here, it'll be in the books. And Chad Cole coming out of turn 4, he's still got the lead. Alrighty, if a caution were to come out now, it would be officially over. Chad Cole working the checkered flag early here with 4 to go.
Yeah, you gotta think his spotter keep telling him just take it easy right now. I mean, that's all that's got to do is hit his marks here. Chris Cable nowhere near him, not hitting the lap times he's able to hit. I mean, Chad Cole in world for half the race here, and I'm telling you, if he doesn't run over a wall or something, he's got this thing racked up.
Absolutely. Jose Gonzalez making his way back up to 6th. White Wolf Jr. was able to get by Jose, and then Mike King drilled the wall coming out of turn 4, just ran out of real estate. Let's look at this battle. Looks like it's starting to heat back up for 6th position. Jose Gonzalez, Mike King right there in turn 4. The white car's Jose, Mike King in the black car.
And Mike King going on the inside. Jose Gonzalez stuck on the outside. Looks like he's hanging there. The 04 Mike King is still there. And Looks like Jose Gonzalez is giving up a little bit of speed on the corner exit, but able to pull him, still sticking to the outside lane as Mike King dives into turn 3 again. Will stick to the inside lane.
Yeah, the 11 car doing a fine job right there, holding up high there, but Mike King stuck down low, not able to give the car a little bit of breathing room coming out of the corners. Got to keep it down real low, and that cuts off speed here at Dover. As we can see now, Mike King starts to get a little bit of the edge, but Chad Cole gonna be the winner coming out of turn 4 in first place. Chad Cole, Valvoline Chevrolet, gonna win here at Dover in the Bob Earl VRC 160.
Chris Cable bringing home second, Rick Fouts in third, Cale Dresbach in fourth, and Wyatt Wolf Jr. in fifth. Take us to the top 10 here, Keaton.
And the Mike King just nosing the Chevrolet of Jose Gonzalez for 6th. Jose, of course, 7th. Brian Harvey, fabulous top 10 for him. He puts that 67 machine in 8th. Ronnie Potts, man, I tell you what, the Bone Collector, defying a little bit of odds here, who was caught up in some wrecks earlier on in the race, moved his way into 9th. Glenn Campbell, the Rhinestone Cowboy, as some may call him, he puts that 44 car at home in 10th. And where did Abbott finish? John Abbott finished 11th, just outside the top 10. So good run here tonight for a lot of these guys here. Dakota?
Yeah, very good run, exciting race, except for those few cautions. I think this race went very stellar. As I'm watching here, Chad Cole actually going backwards around the track, doing his big victory here. But I'll tell you what, Kate, we're going to step away, take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with the top 3 finishers here on ETV Live. So don't step away, we'll be right back.
Coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it to the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. You know, when we got 1 car on the bottom, the 10 cars.
And welcome back, race fans. Again, you just watched one heck of a race at Dover International Raceway with the Real Sim Racing Icebreaker Winter Series Bob Earl VRC 160. And here we are at Victory Lane, and the winner Motorsports is Victory Lane Post-Race Show. Rick Fouts, let's start with you, man, finishing 3rd here tonight. You escaped a little bit of damage. You escaped a little bit of carnage and yellow flag action. Tell us about your night.
Just a great track, very hard track, as you can tell by the wrecks, but I just tried to stay smooth, manage the tires, and it paid off. I was able to get up through the traffic like I wanted to. Struggling on restarts kept me from really competing for the win.
Rick, later on in the race, we saw either before a pit or after a pit, you tagged the wall and you just started to go back. And then it seemed like you pitted. I think it was you pitted, and then you came back, and here you are, 3rd place.
Yeah, you know, if you do mess up a corner, the tires get a little upset, and it lets you know for about 3 or 4 laps, and I think that's what happened there. And just tried to get my focus back and get back to running smooth laps and get back up there where the fun is.
Absolutely, and you know, looking at the standings here, Rick, you came into Dover 20th position, 42 points behind. You're actually tied with Jonathan Cadell, Nathan Bowers, in 18th, respectively. So, but no top 10 so far, no top 5 until tonight at Dover. Is Dover one of those tracks where you knew you were going to do good at, or is it just a toss-up?
No, actually, that's the funny thing. It's one of my worst tracks, but I did a little observing in the practice sessions and actually hit on something, and it worked great.
Absolutely. Well, finishing third here tonight, Rick, you got anybody you'd like to thank?
Bob Earl, of course. Great sponsor.
Absolutely. And of course, Bob Earl is back on board for the 2013 series with the Monday Night Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. And, of course, Rick Fouts getting into that a little bit. Rick, you got any plans to run the 2013 series full-time?
Oh, yeah, this is, that's, you know, I'd like to thank the guys that run this league. They put on a great product, and we have the most fun I've had on iRacing since I've been in the service. So I'll be back.
Absolutely. Rick Fouts finishing third here tonight, and got right here Cable, the man Cable they call Cable Kid, right here on to my right. Chad, Chris, good run tonight.
Thank you, sir. Don't feel like I deserve that finish, but I'll take it.
Absolutely. You know, Chris, you started really good. It looked like you might have had the car to beat early on. You qualified third. Of course, it wasn't until later that the number 7 machine, who finished just ahead of you tonight, that qualified 9th, came out of nowhere, it seemed like, and got around you and pretty much sailed the boat off to the island.
Yeah, Checkle, he's a fast race car driver. I was waiting on him to show up in a way. Starting off the race, I decided, you know, get a good start, get as big of a lead as I can, just try to hang in there as long as I can. Once I saw Chad Cole had caught up to third place, I knew I was only limited on how long I would be out there. Started driving the car harder and wore off the right front tire. I think crew chief told me that my right front tire were about halfway worn down, which is quite a bit with tire wear.
Chris, coming into Dover, 2 races into the winter Icebreaker Winter Series, not everything going really good. You had that one pole, and you thought your luck would turn around, and then you find yourself 36th position in points, and then tonight you finished 2nd. How do you feel?
Well, that's racing for you. I mean, you can start wherever you want, but it doesn't matter where you start. It's matter about where you finish. Tonight, had a great run, good qualifying position. Finished the race in 2nd, just kept my nose as clean as I could. I know I got into several people there with all those wrecks going on, and the wall could not stay off the wall. That seems to be my worst nightmare with this whole series.
And Chris, with a 2nd place finish tonight, you gotta expect a good week, next Monday night. And with that said, we know you like to have someone that you'd like to thank.
Yes, I'd like to thank the U.S. Air Force for sponsoring. Go U.S. Air Force, Chevy Monte Carlo, or Chevy Impala. I just love iRacing too. This is an awesome setup that we got, awesome sanction. Can't thank them enough.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it, folks. Chris Cable bringing home a nice 2nd place finish, a much needed 2nd place finish to find his way hopefully into the top 25 here, or possibly into the top 20. And with that said, Rick Fouts also just 42 points behind your leader, Cole, who won tonight. We'll get to him in a minute. But we'll expect him to move up possibly into the top 10 situation here, at least top 15. So good run for both of these guys, a much needed good run for both of these guys here tonight. And now to the winner is Motorsports Victory Lane, Chad Cole, first win of the season, Dover International Speedway. Could it have happened at a better racetrack, sir?
Oh, absolutely not, Batman. Dover, just, I don't know what it is. It kind of suits my driving style. The way you got to enter the corner, and or really the whole corner just suits my driving style. How you got to exit, just everything sliding around. Love it.
And Chad, looking at the stat history here in the Icebreaker Winter Series so far, consecutive 3 in a row top 5s. And of course, you could add the top 10 list to the mix as well. But of course, getting the number one thing, the win. First win of the season here at Dover. 3 races in, you're sitting in first in points. You've probably gained a little bit more momentum on John Abbott, who had an accident late there in the race. Let's talk about that. Taking out Abbott himself and John Higman Jr. Were you a little bit more at ease when you saw that take place, or did you hate it for those fellas?
I felt more at ease, definitely, but yeah, I hated it for Higman. Him and Abbott both seem to get caught up in other people's messes quite often, and just hate it for him. Higman, I really thought he had something for me there. That second long run we had must have been, I don't know, 20 or 30, 40 laps or so. He was hanging right with me, about a second off, and I really thought he was doing a little bit better job saving his tires than I expected him to be there at the end. But that's racing, just happens to everyone at some point.
And Chad, there's no better position to be in than the clean air out front, going through the lap cars in the lead, because Rick and Chris both probably using a lot of the tires up, either avoiding the wrecks or just working themselves to the field. They did an excellent job of doing that. Got 2 solid finishes here tonight. But again, the win goes to you, and we go next week with you in the points again. And how does that feel?
Well, you're going to have to ask Greg Netherwood, because he's going to be driving the 7 car next week. I'm actually going to have to work next Monday night, so hopefully he'll do all right. I have no idea where we're at, but hopefully it's a good track for Greg.
Homestead, it's the Can-Am Racing Series 200, 130 laps at a very, very fun track, one track that NASCAR ends the seasons with, so Homestead. Greg Netherwood also subbing in for Doug Roth tonight, and Greg did a fabulous job. He just got tied up into that late wreck there and got destroyed. And, Chad, that's one of those things where it's a good thing because you do get points and you can have someone sub for you. So, again, that's Homestead.
Yeah, that makes me feel a lot better. He actually just won at Homestead in the B car a couple weeks ago, so that makes me feel just fine.
And Chad, at this time, man, we know you got some folks to thank. We'll let you do it now.
Yeah, boys back at the shop, Dave Lanza and Glenn Campbell at Team Man-Child Racing. ETV guys, love your broadcast always. You guys do a fabulous job getting the word out about Real Sim Racing. And of course, the admins at Real Sim Racing for setting this TV broadcast up for everyone to race.
There you have it, folks. From the winner of tonight's Bob Earl VRC 160 at Dover International Raceway, 3 in a row consecutively. 1 win for Chad Cole, but 3 top 5s tells the story. He's in first. He's 21 points ahead of John Abbott, who's in second. And Rick Fouts, who finished third tonight, he's tied in 10th with Bobby Wetzel, who won last week at Atlanta with 49 points behind the leader. And Chris Cable, who came home in that second finish, is sitting 20th and got his first top 5 of the year. And we head to Homestead next week. For me, Dakota Airman, John Wessling, and the boys back at the hood. We'll see you next week at Homestead.
Oh,